Welcome to Unscripted Gaming. We have just, if you've been following along with us for a long time, we've just recently finished the entire Metroid Thought series that took us about 1 month. Happy Memorial Day to everyone. I believe that just came out as a little bit of history about me as a veteran of the U.S. Army and the U.S. Air Force Reserve. We like to go ahead and show appreciation real quick by saying thank you to everyone who has served, and especially everyone who at some point may have made, whether it's the largest sacrifice, losing a limb, losing your family, or the ultimate sacrifice, losing your life. Josh, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you, by the way, for your service and all of that jazz.
It was purely for selfish reasons.
But you still did it, and we appreciate that.
I still did it for 7 years. All right. Enough of that. Not that it's bad, but enough of moving on to. I want to speak real quick today. I don't want to focus too much time on it because Josh hasn't played it. I bought Elite Dangerous like I threatened I would a month ago, and it is a phenomenal space game. I know it's been out for the past year, and I know its Kickstarter was successfully funded time over and over again, but it is an amazing game. If you have not played it, and you are a fan of space simulators, whether you like trading, whether you like hunting pirates, whether you like being the pirate, definitely pick this game up. I actually have it streaming in the background right now of this video. You'll see it. This is me just kind of skirting around the space. The beautiful thing about the game is you can pick whatever job title you want to be from the get-go. If you want to start the game and you're like, you know what, I want to be a bastard pirate, do it. Go around just shooting other ships. You're not really in the ship, the starter ship, to really make much of a difference, but you can do that. Me, I'm a bounty hunter, and it's rough getting started because pirates will have no problem fucking you up. But still, good fun, good fun. Josh, tell me a little bit of what you know about Elite Dangerous before I gush for a couple minutes.
You know, not much. My exposure has been purely wishful thinking about me maybe buying the game, but not really having the commitment for it. You know, just seeing some quick looks, some gameplay videos out there, seeing what it's about. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. There is multiplayer. It is like you're against other folks, or is it single player?
It is. There are two different modes. There's open play, then there's solo play.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But do not get it confused. Solo play does not mean you're alone in the galaxy. Solo play means that you just can't interact with other NPCs, and technically speaking, the other NPCs aren't supposed to interact with you. But I hear that's kind of doesn't work as it's advertised. I never play solo play. I play open play all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a game you will. As of right now, technically speaking, it's not a game where you play alone. And you can play with friends, but the game is not friendly towards playing with friends. So it is the map of the game is a almost to scale representation of the entire Milky Way galaxy. That sounds daunting. When you look at the in-game map, it is daunting. When you just zoom out the map and see, oh my gosh, because you're just sitting in the star system, and then you realize how much effort it takes just to travel from one star system to another, and then to another, and then to another. And then you zoom the map all the way out, and you're like, oh my gosh, that was just a nebula. Oh my gosh, that was just a cluster of nebulas. And then you just actually see the galaxy, and you realize how much of this game there actually is. And it's all procedurally generated.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing, if you discover a new star system, you get to name that. Supposedly, no, you don't get to name it. I do believe it's automatically named. And it'll go ahead and say that you discovered it. It'll have your little name tag under it.
Nice.
I think you actually get to name it. I'm not 100% positive of it. That's another class that you can take in the game. You can be an explorer. You can kit out your ship to be an explorer type. I kitted my ship out to be a bounty hunter type, so I have a kill scanner. You might see me actually use it in the video that we are going through here. And you will see that I go through, I find the target, I scan the target, and I try to just take it out, and I get bounty and credits for it. But, Any other questions you might have about the game, Josh? I mean, I know you haven't played it, but I still like to hear your thoughts since you haven't.
So what compared to some other games where you know a lot of ambiguity to what's going on, how easy is it to get in and pick up and start to understand the systems and the currencies and the resources and all of that?
It is bar none the most user-unfriendly game I've ever played, ever. You turn the game on, and there's a tutorial to get the combat and flight mechanics down. But when you turn the game on, it puts you in a ship inside a random space station in a random place in the galaxy, and that's what makes the multiplayer kind of hard, because if you wanted to play with friends, let's say I wanted to play with you and you bought the game randomly on a lark,
yeah,
you would spawn in some random place several hundred light years kind of close to the Earth solar system, our solar system, Sol. So that it's kind of hard for us to kind of jump from place to place and kind of sync up and then decide, okay, now we can go ahead and go on missions with each other. That's very user unfriendly. Starting the game off, you don't know what anything particularly does. You don't know really how to maneuver that much, even with the tutorial. And God forbid if you're using a mouse and keyboard to play this game. You are going to hate this game if you use a mouse and keyboard. It supports an Xbox 360 controller. Use at minimum that. But this is one of those games where a flight stick is all but required. When I first started, I dumped 50 hours into it over one weekend. That's more than any of the games I've played recently.
Yeah.
It's very deep. Oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Just everything you have to do has to be deliberate. If you want to dock in a space station, you have to go to the space station, request permission to dock. If you give permission, because it uses real-time detection of how many ships are in their station, unless that person logs off the game, then their ship just kind of docks into the station and you just don't see them anymore. But let's say they're playing, they're just in the station, they're sitting down, then you can't dock in that station. You have to wait until that slot frees up. If you try to dock, you can incur fractions, you can incur fees. There's the police in the game, the Galaxy Police might start coming after you. Just very, very deep. And then once you get permission to dock, you yourself have to dock the ship. You have to line up, dock, and then you can go ahead, you can refill your ammunition, you have to refuel, at all times. Just the depth of that game. It really does treat you, in some ways I've described it amongst people that I know that play it. The game treats you like an adult. It doesn't hold your hand at all.
Which I'm sure, you know, in today's overly walking you through everything with your hand held by the game, I think that's probably nice and refreshing, but I can also imagine that it can be a little
it's daunting.
Yeah.
It's not a game for everyone. I could not recommend this game for everyone. As a matter of fact, the problem I have with the game is once you kind of pick the thing that you want to do, whether you want to be a bounty hunter or a pirate, once you start figuring out the groove, and once you've gotten into a couple good upgrades, like the current ship I have, you see me playing on the screen as a Viper, which is a really good bounty hunting ship. Of course, it gets better. The absolute best end game ship you can get is an Anaconda, which looks like a miniature Death Star. It has so many weapon points on it that are all turreted too. Not all of them, but most of them are turreted. Such a good ship. But anyways, back to what I was saying, once you kind of figure out what it is you're going to do in the game, there's not much to it, unfortunately. You can go around, like in my case, I go around, I hunt my bounties, I go around, I find other star systems to go hunt more bounties, I take missions for bounty hunting, and that's about it. I've dumped about 60 hours altogether in the game, I think. And I have to say, I'm starting to feel there's just not a lot of content in it right now.
Yeah.
There's one form of content that I haven't explored yet that really is the end game type content. It's called conflict zones and community events. Community events is where everyone gathers together. It's based on whatever the creators of the game, Frontier Studios, decide that you're going to do. And you gather resources, you fight off pirates, you can explore new systems, but you're all doing it in an effort to build a new star system out in uncharted space, which is really, really cool. Everyone has like a week to gather together to do it. But even that is just, I haven't tried it yet, but it sounds like a really cool concept. There are conflict zones where you can go in and engage. You declare yourself one of the 3 factions, and you engage in like a war type scenario. That's kind of an end game scenario for bounty hunters and pirates and other action or very action based ships, but also
So here's my question: worth full retail or not?
Absolutely. Absolutely worth full retail. Once you see how much detail has gone to the game and the things that you can do in the game, you're going to get at least 40 hours out of it.
Yeah.
Minimum. At least. Maybe 20. Maybe you'll get bored. And the game doesn't charge you to play on the server. The only microtransactions in the game is just changing the color of the paint on your ship. It's kind of a big deal. Not a big deal.
Yeah, it's like a hat.
Cosmetic. And it's like $12 to do it, too. So I would definitely say worth the cost of full retail. I can't praise this game enough. I'm really, really glad I purchased it. Having a fun time with it. Bought a flight stick for it. It's a very cheap flight stick, but bought a flight stick for it nonetheless. But as I was just saying before, I admit probably within the next month or 2 I might find not enough to do in the game, so I need more features into it. Mm-hmm. And it's a Kickstarted game also, so you know,
pretty neat.
Put your expectations in check. But that's all I got about Elite Dangerous. Josh, you got any ending notes for us?
I think I'm good. I want to play it. We'll see what happens. Who knows?
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you all for checking us out on Unscripted Gaming. If you would like to subscribe, please do so. If you've played Elite Dangerous, or if you have any other flight sims you're looking forward to, like the fabled Star Citizen, we'd love to hear about that. But we hope to hear from you guys again.